Welcome to the CEO Craft Show. This show is for the soul-led hustler who simultaneously wants to embody their best and highest self while doing the work. I'm your host, Rebecca, and today we're exploring what to do when things aren't going your way. We had a question recently in our community, and the question was, how do you handle your mindset and emotions when things don't go how you want them to be? And it felt like something we could all benefit from hearing as we go into the holiday season. And we're balancing a lot of things. I've said before on this show that it is selling season. We've just passed the Black Friday, Cyber Monday wildness, and we're coming into the holidays. Christmas gift buying, setting yourself up for 2025. And it is a time where there's a lot of marketing going around, and we feel a lot of pressure in our businesses also to sell while trying to have family time, which is more than usual. And also, not just family time, if you're someone who has a large friend group or goes to events, a lot of places like CrossFit gyms, I'm just thinking of my CrossFit gym, has like a Christmas party, like these places host a lot at Christmas because 'tis the season. And even if you don't celebrate Christmas, there still is a ramping up of community events that you can attend. And all of these things take time from your business. And you might have had some really big goals for ending 2024 on a high note and starting 2025 like you mean to go on. But what happens when things aren't going your way? Ugh, is the worst. And today's conversation is four ways I would approach this and really support myself to get back on track as quickly as possible. We're entrepreneurs, time efficiency is everything. So, how do we handle our emotions and our mindset when things don't go how we want them to go? The first thing is I like to create a new vision that is more achievable with the new circumstances. So, this really came from a lot of the learning that I did around Tony Robbins. So, highly recommend. It was my introduction into personal growth and development and really helped me a lot. Is this concept that he has of the blueprint and how we are dissatisfied when our life doesn't measure up to the blueprint that we have set out for it. So we can talk about this in grandiose terms of I wanted to be a millionaire by 35 and I'm 34 and I made 50K this year. We can talk about it in terms like that, but I see it on a very fundamental level. It's like you wake up in the morning an hour later than you were going to wake up, and your whole day goes to shit because you've woken up that hour later and you didn't start the day the way you wanted to. And the blueprint of the day is now not able to match in terms of your time or your intention or your energy, what you had set out for it to do. So, when we experience moments that really just take us out the game, maybe your family needs you, maybe you are trying to be there for a friend, maybe something in the business, especially because Mercury is retrograde right now, something in the business isn't working, the tech isn't working, email automations are firing off and they're the wrong ones. You add something, you take something away, you have to do your social media, all the drama. The blueprint needs to change. It's as simple as that. So creating a new vision that's more achievable with a new set of circumstances. This is, like I was saying, for the entrepreneur that gets to, 34 and they wanted to be a millionaire by 35 and their birthday's next week, and that may not be achievable anymore. Might be you could totally win the lottery. Like, don't change your manifestations just based on this. But if you want to experience peace, then I think it's really important to consider your well-being while striving for your goals. So what is more achievable with these new set of circumstances? It was easy when you were 20 to say, yeah, I'll be a millionaire by 35. And if you've not done anything about it, that's not going to happen. So the first thing that I do when anything goes awry, whether it's I've woken up late or I've not met a big goal that I set for myself a long time ago, because those things happen too, then I create a new vision of what is actually achievable. And I consider the new circumstances in that. So the second thing after creating the new vision, the new blueprint, is you're going to be annoyed that you have to do that in the first place. That's why I say to do it first. I like that book, Eat That Frog, eat the biggest frog first, which is ironic because I'm plant-based, so I don't eat frogs. But if you do the thing that's the hardest first, and the hardest thing is to admit what you wanted ain't happening. Whether you could have made a million different decisions, you could have set different boundaries, it doesn't matter. It didn't happen. Let's stop trying to make fetch happen and create a new vision. Then you have to look at your to-do list because every entrepreneur I know has one. It's as long as your arm, if not longer. And you have to practice so much kindness towards the to-do list. I do this before I even account for my own emotions, and this is personal to me. And I'll explain why that works when we talk about emotions. But I have to have a clearer game plan or my emotions are scattered and I can't even concentrate. I have no idea what's going on. I feel out of my body, out of my mind, and I'm just stressed. And that doesn't help anybody and doesn't solve any challenges. So, practicing kindness towards my to-do list is taking as much off of that list and reprioritizing the rest of my week around how the new vision will happen. So it's correlated. I consider both. For example, we usually batch our content 4 weeks in advance. We've had a rough season behind the scenes. This is going out on the day it is recorded. That is not normal for us, but it's because I had to reprioritize. It still goes out on the same day. No one gets hurt. No one's sad about it. It still makes it into our email not today, on Thursday. There's no drama. But if I was so attached to this, I have to be 4 weeks in advance, I would have stressed myself out so much to try and make that happen. And it's actually not worth it. So let's prioritize ourselves, practice kindness towards the to-do list, take as much or move as much as possible with a caveat. If you are this type of entrepreneur that likes to be very ahead, and something's come in and taken your attention, and now you just have to be on, not on the fly, but on the day. It's not ideal. Like this question is not ideal in its essence. How do you handle your mindset and emotions when things just don't go the way you want them to? Like that's not an ideal problem to have. So I'm not saying it's going to be ideal to move all of your shit, but I am saying that under the new circumstances, be kind to yourself. If you just keep complaining about why things are the way that they don't change. This is an opportunity for you to change, and that sucks when you're in it, but it's so, so important. The third thing that I do after I've created the new vision, I've committed to the new vision, even though it's been hard, I've then practiced kindness with my to-do list, which I do on Todoist, by the way, not an ad. I'm obsessed. And then the third thing I'll do is I'll ask for support from people who are not going through the same circumstances. So this question originally was in reference to a family member's illness. And it's not my story, so I'm not going to share. But to give you context, in that circumstance, I'm not going to ask my husband for help. He's going through a similar thing to me. So why would I put more pressure on someone who's just had the same pressure put on them as potentially has been put on me? And then I'm like, can you help me? And then everyone's stressed and everyone is struggling even more because then you feel like I've asked for support and I've not got it. And they're like, I'm literally just keeping my head above water. And it's this vicious cycle that really hurts your relationships. So why not ask a friend? Why not ask a business mentor, a coach, someone who can truly help you? Maybe getting a virtual assistant or a lead generation assistant, a marketing assistant, someone to help you with your social media could be better fits. I'm using this in a business context because that's the context the question was asked in. But can you get support from people who aren't going through the same thing so that you just have some outsider insight, someone that maybe has a little bit more time, capacity, and ability to support you in what you're going through, and can also be objective and distance themselves, because I think that's really important. When you're in it and you feel like you're in it, you actually need people to pull you out of it. So let yourself be pulled out and ask for support from people who aren't going through the same thing as you. And that's what helps my mindset, because then I have a plan. I love a plan. I love a list. So if you're that type of entrepreneur, this is truly, you know, the four commandments for you. I say that jokingly, not to mock religion, but it's important for us if that's the kind of entrepreneur you are. Once I have handled my mindset, because that's the thing that I need to take control of first so that I can actually feel my emotions that are the emotions I'm actually feeling in that moment. Because the first thing I'll go to is like stress and frustration and overwhelm and potentially burnout, because there's just so much pressure. When you take the pressure off, give yourself a chance to breathe. I went on a walk earlier and I was like, I feel like I've just taken the first breath that I've taken in a really long time, because things have just been wild and wonderful and wild. And now I can actually feel the emotions because I've done all of the things. I created the new vision. I practiced kindness towards my to-do list. I asked for support from the people that I had a coaching call today, and it was the best thing I've ever experienced. I asked for support from people who are not in my circumstances, and it was so helpful. And now I can actually feel my emotions. And in the meantime, standing the fuck up for your emotions is so important. And that has been a lesson that is new. Like, this system is something I've used a lot, but this is the part that's new, is in the meantime, if I am sad or angry, my family will probably tell you this actually. I cannot hide my emotions if I feel that way unless I want to. A lot of the time, I actually just don't want to. And something I'm learning now is not only to present as if I have these emotions, because I'm not putting a front on for people, but to actually talk about my emotions and stand up for them. And no matter who is trying to tell you that you shouldn't feel the way that you feel, especially when this comes to a business context, when people are like, practice gratitude. Remember, like 3 years ago when you didn't have any clients and you would have killed to have one client. And that's not always helpful when you're in it. So I think that standing up for your own emotions is actually a really big part of feeling them and processing them so that you can move on, not hold grudges, not still feel stuck, not feel unseen, unheard. I think it's really important. Stand up for it. I will stand up for every moment I am angry, every moment I am sad, every moment I am annoyed till the end of time. It has been so freeing to just be myself. So, how do you feel your emotions if you're someone who's like, these coaches say feel your emotions all the time, and I have no idea how to do that? Well, feeling your emotions means to understand or identify what the emotion is and then soothe it. Example, I feel angry because if you thermoscan a body, anger is in your extremities. It's in your arms and your legs because it's fight, and it's also flight, run away. But if it's anger, it's hot-headedness. Your head heats up and your extremities heat up if you're angry. So when those things happen, I know physiologically that I'm angry. It can also come out as really sharp words and unkindness. It's not normal for you. It can also come out as, you throw something on the ground, you pick something up and you drop it like with extra gusto. And you can identify, oh, I'm angry. Just like if you were anxious, maybe you just get nervous and you shake and you jitter and you stumble over your words. Understand what emotions are for you is like such a huge part of this work, but identifying what are the physiological responses can be really helpful if you're someone that's like, I can't feel my emotions, I'm numb. Then it's consider your physiology. First thing you do, identify. And the second thing is you soothe it. And this is also different for everyone. Some people, I know some of my girlfriends, when they get angry, they just need to cry. And I've been there. I think we all have. Um, I'm much more of a, if I feel angry, I need space to myself. I need to go outside. I need to go running. I am not a natural runner. I've tried so many times, but when I am angry, I feel like I could run forever, forever being like 15 minutes before I'm literally dying on the ground. But moving that energy out of my body is really, really helpful. When I've had periods of extreme anxiety, actually going into more of a facilitated state of anxiety, so really intense breathwork sessions. Oh, the holy grail for me. I love an intense breathwork session, especially if I'm anxious, because after it, oh, the relief, I can't even tell you. So, actually, feeling your emotions is identifying the emotions and then soothing it. Everyone is going to be different. Try some new things, practice, literally Google how to get rid of anger and try some of the practices because, like I said, everyone's different. Some people just need to cry, some people need to run, some people need to rage, like rage ritual in the woods. Love a good rage ritual. These things are important. So give yourself time to learn these skills because they are skills that are learned. So, with that, then you'll be able to handle those emotions. You'll be able to take control of your mindset. And thank you for listening. I know it's a challenging season, and I hope that this helps you to take the pressure off. So, we'll close by saying if you are a soul-led hustler who like lives for conversations like this, like me, then we'd love for you to join us at a networking event soon. Let us help you get your business out there, create some really strong collaborations and connections, and let us help you facilitate that because it's hard. It's hard out there, and you don't have to do it alone. And until the next time on the CEO Card Show, I'll be over here believing in you.